did screw it up.
Okay. Hi, everybody, and welcome to a big dog smiling or woof woofing. I don't know. He's got more bite than that bark. Yeah, look at those big old snappers. Anyway, welcome to a Keith Lee and Drag with generic music debuting. What could be better? Matt, an episode we're going to be supporting Pat McAfee. My God, that's an episode of the Brothers of Discussion. We're going to talk everything from SummerSlam's highs and lows, NXT's evil triple X's, and they're not so evil triple X's, Matt. And then, of course, it's AEW tonight. It's a Thursday night we're recording. We're going to try and get some live reactions right as it happens. But, Matt, before we get into that, as we know, every week it's another hot, spicy, tasty week of wrestling. This week was no exception. At my job, we have a thing where we're supposed to almost send like short TikTok videos to our clients and be like, "Hey, thanks for picking us. All right, bye now." And I did one where I ate a hot pepper on camera, and boy, did I regret it because I burned the crap out of my mouth, and I'm probably 2 hours away from burning the crap out of my butthole. Matt, how are things over there? I hope you're not eating spicy peppers and pooping them out.
No, but I did for today, and I just watched the movie Peanut Butter Falcon. So I made what I'm calling a peanut butter falcon, which is whole milk, a 2-ounce pour of whole milk, Bailey's, and peanut butter whiskey. So if you're a wrestling fan out there, which I believe, Stephanie, you are a wrestling fan. Stephanie, how are you doing? I hope we get some good questions from you today. Good to see people are checking in already. I'm pretty stoked about that. We're going about 20 minutes later than we actually wanted to here, but everything's looking good. Making sure everything looks like it's working. So I think we're good to move forward. But yeah, Mike, what are you drinking? I got my peanut butter falcon. I gave everybody the directions.
Recently. Yeah, I recently finished my Screwball peanut butter whiskey bottle. So now I'm making my way through a 12-pack of Dr. Pepper cream sodas. But before we get too far away, that Peanut Butter Falcon movie, oh, man. If you are a wrestling fan, and why would you be listening to the show if you're not, unless you just like looking at two handsome devils? Peanut Butter Falcon's about a young man trying to do some self-discovery and pursue some dreams, and he comes across Shia LaBeouf, which, that's not everybody's dream. But Shia LaBeouf helps this young man become a professional wrestler. So I think the trailers were a little misleading. I thought it was just kind of a huggy-wuggy, feel-good indie movie. And there's cameos by Jake the Snake Roberts in this movie. So as a wrestling fan, absolutely take the time, 90 minutes of joy for the Peanut Butter Falcon.
Yeah, I definitely, I wasn't prepared for how much wrestling was going to be in this. So if you're cool with that, dominating the I don't know, the content you're consuming, I'm assuming again that you are, you're going to be in for a hell of a trip. And it's, I don't know what it is, if it's fatherhood, but it's really hard for me to get through a movie without crying. So this was no exception, and this is another tough one. I feel like I cry at everything now. Not embarrassed about it. Just one of those things. Maybe it's me facing my mortality and seeing other people live their dreams, and then you just start to, realize life's slipping away and death is knocking on the door. All right, Mike, we got some new videos, so here's what I'm going to do. Let's transition here. Woo! Wrestling news. Look at that sweet-ass transition. Yeah, wrestling news. Ah! All right, we're back. All right. I hope, Mike, I hope for the sake of the show. Hey, Amy, what's up? Amy's got her comment there on Facebook. Yes, thank you. Woo!
Hey, Amy.
And Stephanie, I did see your comment there too. We'll get to that later. So that will be coming up. But oh yeah, look at that sweet. So I've got it up on my phone too. So I'm watching. God damn, that transition. I hope y'all liked it. I would say I spent a lot of time on it, but Mike knows that I was putting it together maybe 5 minutes before we went live, so it's not as perfect as I want it to be, but it exists now. So now everybody's gonna know when we switch topics, at least on video. Nobody's gonna know when they're listening to the podcast. We need like a I made like a hot tag one too, so we need like a I don't know. Maybe should we do like a Michael Cole call of like, and there's the tag, and cheer from the crowd. So I tried to make one once, and it just right.
You could do that, or you could pipe in Jim Ross on AEW going, well, there's the best friends. There's Chuck tagging his tag team partner because he doesn't know the name of the other guy. So that's always fun. I think we're gonna make mention of it here in a minute. The some of the commentary in WWE that has been outstanding, and from a color commentary's perspective, and then the play-by-play is desperate need of a reboot a little bit, a little fresh talent there. I don't know if you want to dive right into it if you're ready.
Yeah, let's do it. I think I do. I like more banter on the hockey show, and then less banter here because we actually know what we're talking about.
Right. Okay, well, this one on NXT this week, we got so much to talk about. We had SummerSlam, we had NXT XXX, Vin Diesel style, and then we've got Payback this Sunday. So, we got to get back in gear for that. We got some people debuting on Raw, some returns, but, man, I was kind of excited for the commentary table in NXT because Bad News Barrett was back. And as far as like a color commentary guy who really makes me feel a little afraid when he's yelling in the microphone.
Yeah.
Oh, it's a great headlock there. And I was just like, Jesus, this is like some Lord of the Rings, orc voice coming out of Wade Barrett. But I'm glad this guy has a job. I don't know why they keep saying that it's going to be like a one-off or like a short-term thing, because if one night is any indication, NXT could desperately use a guy like that. As much as I know that the WWE has a real affinity for Northeast American accents, kind of, running their show. Like Jim Ross was the exception with the Southern accent, but most of the other guys all kind of have that Northeastern accent. I think for Bad News Bear to come in and do so well in one night, it never felt like he was out of place. It felt like he's a welcome addition. I just want more of it. And I think this was a good move, and I hope he's here to stay. And I hope they don't feel like they need to, put him back in the ring. If this is what he's happy doing, more of it, please.
Now, I'm going to say, before I say what I'm about to say, let me preface here. All right, I think my love of wrestling is in the proof that I put out a video for y'all where I said the Brothers of Discussion top 5 moments that happened at SummerSlam this week. And I hope you guys got a chance to check it out. There's a vlog on bodpodcast.com. I put together graphics, and we're doing a live show. Obviously, I care about pro wrestling. I watched NXT on mute, and I totally forgot that Wade Barrett was calling it. I know. All right, everybody in the chat right now. Does that make me a horrible wrestling fan?
Yes.
That I watch wrestling on mute, or is it okay? Just
no.
Make me feel
bad.
Go ahead right now. Tell you what, on YouTube we'll actually have a poll, so we'll run the results next week. Am I a bad wrestling fan for watching it on mute? Amy, be kind. Amy's actually helped us a couple times already. I've sent her some graphics, and I've asked for honest opinion. And she was one of the few people to be honest and tell me it was shit. So, I hope that she'll be nice here. But
I think one thing to keep in mind too with Wade Barrett doing so well
Yeah.
One of the bright spots on Monday Night Raw with the weekly 3-hour odyssey that we find ourselves going through is Samoa Joe, and it really is kind of shocking how excellent those guys are off the cuff, just like describing something, being in the moment, and how little WWE has utilized either of those guys to just tell stories on the microphone. It definitely feels like a missed opportunity, and you kind of wish that you were in the pitch room to hear. So why aren't we pushing these guys again? Wade Barrett's ceiling was the Intercontinental title, and Samoa Joe's was losing to Brock Lesnar a couple times. So I don't know. It's one of those things where it's kind of like, I don't know what else you wanted to see, but they're pretty good with the microphone, and they're not terrible wrestlers, and they kind of have unique looks. So I don't know.
Amy is letting us know that I missed an opportunity here. She she says, "Sorry, love, that's bad." Yeah, I'm not. I mean, I'm not like proud of it. I just look there. There's the baby.
Here we go with the baby. Here we go.
Sometimes the baby. Mike, I've been playing a lot of Warzone. I'm addicted. See, there's a problem. Addiction. You can't be mad at someone who's addicted to video games because it's a medical issue. So you're a bad person if you call me out on it. So there's addiction, the baby. What other excuses can I make up? Any hoozles. All right. Continuing on. I'm gonna go back and listen to Wade. I think it's awesome.
Good.
I think it's cool that they put him on the NXT roster already. I thought that was kind of neat. Went back and Amy says, "See a doctor." Amy, we're gonna have to have you on the show next week. We're gonna have to sync this up so that we can hear from the. I don't want you to be the peanut gallery. I guess I want you to be a part of the show. Yeah, I thought that was kind of neat. They went back and got some old pictures of Wade, and now he's on that roster again. Mike, how about the Thunderdome? You brought up the not so good, everything that kind of revolves around that idea that we've all been posting in the last week of why we can't have nice things. The Thunderdome. Why is everybody trying to ruin it? I saw someone. They went onto the Thunderdome, held up a sign that said "Fire Velveteen Dream," and then for the rest of the night on SummerSlam, like, look, I think we've both been pretty vocal about our viewpoint on that. And part of my video, I actually touched on Velveteen Dream. That was the opening segment. I talked about Velveteen Dream. That's a terrible choice of words. Jesus Christ. But I brought up the idea that we don't really know what's going on, but I want them to talk about it. I want Triple H to come out and say something like he's Roger Goodell. I want Vince McMahon to come out and say something and have a press conference. I don't think that's too much to ask, and I think ignoring it is what the problem is. So if they did an investigation and they didn't find anything, let us know. Don't do an interview on some small media publication. Like, come out and say, look, this is on WWE.com. This is what happened with Velveteen Dream. I just wanted to come out and say that again. Like, the thing that we want to see is an acknowledgement that this is an issue, and the more that they push it under the rug, I think the more worried we get that there actually is a problem, and they're just hoping we'll forget. I think that's as honest as we can be with all of this, right?
You're still talking about people doing bad things in the Thunderdome pictures?
No, I just wanted to sum up our feelings on Velveteen Dream before I continued on what else is going on in the Thunderdome. But all right. So
I think the consensus there was just it was too soon, and I don't think anybody was ready for him to come back. I think we could have waited. We didn't need him.
And I think it still comes back though to that idea that they should have acknowledged it at any point. Like, right when it happened, the first night he wrestled, every successive night after that. It's handled very poorly. We don't know what the hell's going on. It's still, you have to make sure you say the word accusation. I think it's there's a lot of evidence out there, right? So how is it just turned into?
I don't want to get bogged down too much on that, just because I know we talked about it a lot in the last episode, and
I know.
we still don't have all the facts.
That's yeah.
So I would just say that the Thunderdome. I won't say that one or two people. I think one or two people tried to ruin it for everybody else, but it was a really good idea. I think the NBA had a really good start with that idea, with that the virtual fan experience, where you can get the people there virtually, on a screen. You get to be face to face with the camera. It kind of looks like you're in the stadium, reacting to what's going on in the matches. They still had an audio kind of give and take, as heels or faces, were having their moments in the match. But yeah, I like that they gave quite a few liberties to people. Like, somehow we still got MJF 2020 up there. We still got, Fire, Velveteen Dream, but we still had just people with smiling faces. Somehow there was a Pikachu out there. So I guess what kind of fascinates me is, what they were paying some intern to do some vetting of who was allowed to keep broadcasting themselves, because there's a few people I saw on the wrestling community on Twitter who were saying, well, I've been here for 4 hours, I'm taking a break. So it's just kind of funny that I guess you wouldn't want to necessarily kick people out or time it, because God forbid, what if you ran out of people and some of the screens were black or something? I mean, I know you could do like the old video game and maybe carbon copy some people up into the rafters, but I would be fascinated to see whose job it was to make sure, that there wasn't just live nudes and, OnlyFans accounts streaming during SummerSlam.
All right.
For those of you unfamiliar with OnlyFans, that's when you basically, it's almost like custom porn, where you can interact with your favorite porn star and they'll do special things for you. I've heard. I haven't seen.
Also, to anybody Mike's talking to right now, welcome to Planet Earth. All right. I would just want to say two things. Everybody, stop trying to ruin it. And that's why I wanted to preface Velveteen Dream so much. Because even though it needs to happen, we need action by WWE involving Velveteen Dream. I don't want this to be ruined. It seems like a pretty good thing, and I'm hoping it lasts long enough to where we can actually get into the Thunderdome. I didn't know that they were secretly posting on Twitter that you could register for it, and then 2 days later I found out that they did that. I want there to be one chance for the Brothers of Discussion to get in there before it's completely thrown in the garbage. And really, we only have what? We have a Payback, right? And then it's gone. And then we got to watch shows again at the Performance Center. So
hey, I need you to stretch for 1 minute, just because I gotta go let my girlfriend in the house. Hold on.
I got it. All right, everybody. So Matt is talking all by himself here, but he's fine, right? How's everybody doing today? No, I'm gonna keep rolling on the Thunderdome thing. So I said two things. One, I don't want people to ruin it. The other thing is that I'm pretty sure Mike was saying that people were hanging around for 4 hours. I'm fairly certain that they were actually cycling people through. So you would get so much time on the Thunderdome, and then a new person would come in. So that was the thing about people getting banned, is that they were actually just cycling a large group of people in and out. So nobody was, as far as I could tell, even in the communications of the people that were banned, they were getting the same communication of the people that were just like, hey, thanks for coming in, we're letting other people watch Thunderdome now. I don't know. I would probably just go right back in and see if they actually are banned. But, all right, Mike, another thing I talked about, again, go to bodpodcast.com, brothersofdiscussion.com, and everybody that's watched it, thank you so much. We actually I got the notification on Squarespace today that our website was blowing up, so thank you so much for everybody who's watched the video. I'm pretty happy about it. Amy, you sent some nice words, so I appreciate you watching it too. It took me, Mike, content creators, I got to get used to this. It took me all goddamn day to put that video together. But one of the things I did talk about in that video is Dominic Mysterio and Pat McAfee. I think I listed that as my number 3 thing to come out of SummerSlam weekend. Well, I'll just leave it at that because you guys gotta check the top 5. That's you gotta go to our YouTube page and check out the new video. Also, I should tease, got another new video coming out and blog that's going to be about the 5 wrestlers that could be added to the NXT Fatal 4-Way Championship match. We'll talk about that more once we get to NXT and AEW, but yeah, you guys just got to keep your eyes peeled to bodpodcast.com. I'm finally putting out content on a more than a weekly basis. All right.
I think before SummerSlam, I don't think there was a soul on earth who thought that they would walk away from this weekend saying, I'll be goddamned, Dominic Mysterio and Pat McAfee actually belong in a WWE ring.
Yeah.
Like Dominic, not only did he kind of kept up that passion of the Christ, endurance, and tolerance for pain, he actually got a few opportunities to put some offense out there. That I saw some of the wrestling publications, who I'm not going to name, just kind of get down on the outcome. But I think the important thing was you still need Seth Rollins to win because he's been the face of this company for not for a short amount of time. He's married to the most beloved female character in the company. I didn't need Dominic Mysterio to win. He was just supposed to put up a good fight, which is what he did. And then Pat McAfee, I think literally all we wanted was don't, for some reason, squash Adam Cole, like through weapons or outside interference. And instead they just put on a very good one-on-one match. And I think I'm guilty of it. I think a lot of people, based on their reactions, kind of felt the same. But McAfee, I know he's a punter, and obviously some athleticism is required to be a professional kicker, in the National Football League. But I don't think anyone realized how athletic the guy really is. Whether he was, essentially doing, almost a 5-foot vertical on flat feet jump from the mat up to the top rope. Whether he was, cartwheeling and backflipping, front flipping, bumping for Adam Cole. I think a lot of us kind of expected a bit of a WrestleMania Bobby Lashley, Donald Trump, where, he eats a stunner and he kind of just collapses into a pile of mashed potatoes like, our current president did back then. But he looked like a legitimate wrestler who's been training really hard to put on a good show. And I think you're lying to yourself if you watch either of those matches and you didn't walk away impressed that, those two put on really, really strong performances.
Yeah, and I'm actually kind of wondering too if you, Mike, did you actually watch? Did you watch my video? Because it sounds like you did. No? Oh my God. Oh, this is embarrassing. Okay. Well, these are some of the same points I made on my video. I'm a little heartbroken that we come out with one piece of content a week and Mike was too busy.
There's a lot of wrestling out there, man. I'm trying.
Yeah, okay. Anyway, this is the second week now. I guess I'm going to have to call you out on that shit. Yeah, I mean, Pat McAfee doing well. I dubbed as like, oh crap, punters can wrestle too. It's really all just good news, and I know we're getting kind of hung up on like every topic here, so I'm ready to keep moving. But
yeah,
I'm really thrilled, and I would say go to bodpodcast.com and brothersofdiscussion.com to check out the blog and the vlog that lists Dominic and Mysterio in our top 5 things to come out of the weekend. Now, another thing that came out of that weekend, Mike, and it's also in the top 5. I won't give away where in the top 5, but it's Roman Reigns. Mike, smiling is my favorite, is how you put it. Randy Orton's really been digging into Roman Reigns for those teefers that he's got rolling out. annihilates the Fiend and Braun. Braun, I think, is done. Now, here's what I said in the video, quick tease, because this is the thing, is that we're talking about things I put in the video. Mike, maybe why you want to watch the content we put out, the Brothers of Discussion content every now and then. Maybe subscribe to the YouTube channel, because I don't even know if you're subscribed to it. But everybody, please, including Mike, subscribe to the YouTube channel. It helps us out. I think that we're in for an amazing story of Roman and the Fiend. And I gave some hints that Roman's already taken down Seth Rollins. He's already taken down Daniel Bryan. He's already taken down John Cena. I think he's going to take down Roman Reigns, too. I think we're really telling this story like this is the guy. And I even talked about how every single poster that the WWE has put out that the Fiend has been involved in the pay-per-view, he's been on that poster. And I think that's important. I think that's huge. I think there's other pro wrestlers who have been at the top of mind for the WWE, and they just haven't made it to posters. They haven't been like that marquee event. They haven't made it to the main event. And I think the Fiend is just this. He's at this level where he's transcending like the hardcore wrestling fan, the casual fan, the person who's like, what the hell is this? I need to check this out. Like, which is I would say a lower level than the casual fan. All of that is checking the boxes. He's an interesting thing, and he's something that you and I have both said. Like he's got is it Emmys? Emmys is the television awards, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
I mean, yeah, he's totally doing Emmy, or at least a nod, and we already know that the Emmy Awards are out, so he's been completely ignored, but I really did think he could have fit in there somewhere, and with all that being said, I think the WWE recognizes that, and I think Roman coming in, it's not the end of the Fiend. I think it's all good news. I think the Fiend is going to find some way to maybe not teach Roman a lesson, but, it's going to work out in the Fiend's favor eventually. I'll say eventually is probably the better way to put it.
Yeah, I think it was a little bit up in the air, when COVID hit and Roman disappeared for obvious, good reason, because of the health issues he's had. It didn't make sense for him to come back during a pandemic.
Right.
It's still here, but at least it feels like we're getting a little bit closer to having an idea how to regulate things and, be somewhat safer. So I get, Roman coming back now, but
just a hot take here. I don't think we're going to be any safer or any closer to happiness until that vaccine comes out. I think eventually people are just going to say fuck it, and I think we're already at that point. So just want to throw that in there. So
you can, but I'm just saying we have a better idea of at least how to test and keep people away. At least it seems like WWE's taking that seriously. So nobody's saying that it's cured, Matt. I think you can calm down over there. We get your wife's a doctor. All right, calm down. Anyway, so I just think
shit.
With the
there it is.
With the with the Fiend, Roman Reigns, this company needed Roman. I think you are going to see a boost in numbers, a boost in viewership. I think people do want to see the big dog pummel somebody like the Fiend. The only thing that was a little curious I saw was people were saying this is Roman finally going heel, and
no,
I wouldn't make that leap. I think he's still just Roman being Roman, and they're just going to promote him as the best. He's not going to be promoted as a bad guy. He's beyond that. He's like Bray Wyatt in that way, where he's not really a face or a heel. He's just its own entity that you are excited to see for one reason or another.
A huge confusion, I think, in the world of pro wrestling as to what exactly, like, a guy who wins and who's supported by the company isn't necessarily a face, right? Like, you have to actually read between the lines and see what the character does, because Roman doesn't always follow that line of face stuff, especially with what, like, I think what somebody might say right now is, yeah, that's right, he turned heel. But no, this is all things we've seen from Roman in the past, is taking out guys like The Fiend and Braun. This isn't new. So, yeah, turn on your WWE network, Google search. network search Roman Reigns, and you'll see the evidence there. He's been doing the same stuff for quite a while. Remember when he took out the Undertaker and came to the ring and said, "This is my yard now," and expected the boos? Like, yeah, it's not a heel turn. It's a Roman return. That's about it. All right, Mike, Keith Lee debuting on Raw in a skirt is how you put it. You don't like his music.
Yeah, Keith Lee already came out and said, I don't choose the music. We'll get to it eventually. So he kind of tried to brush it aside. I guess hot tag, Matt.
Oh, wait.
Here comes a graphic.
Woo! Graphic! All right.
Here's my hot tag question. I feel like people really liked Keith Lee's music. Basket is glory. They kind of liked waving their arms to it a little bit. Matt, here's my hot tag question. Why did they change it? What happened in the production meeting? Why did they think this is going to boost the popularity of Keith Lee by giving him more generic music?
I would think that the only reasonable conversation that they had was he just lost to Karrion Kross. Let's completely hit the reset button. Keith, you're going to shave. You're going to get a new outfit. Nobody talked about the shaving. I thought that was weird. That nobody,
this is a billion, man. This is a bit. Let me preface the rest of your answer. This is a company that makes $1 billion.
Yeah, sometimes.
The wildly popular, a company that doesn't want to be a wrestling company anymore. They want to be in the same breath of a company like Disney. They're just a media corporation. That's what they are. So a media corporation looked at Keith Lee, all his success in NXT, and said, no. Matt, what were they thinking? What do they know that we don't?
I think I was summing it up there, that they wanted to hit the reset button. Do you not like that answer? Do you want something else? Were you not listening?
I don't know if I need a reset, Matt. I heard your answer. A reset? I don't think people are really, living and dying with a Karrion Kross victory. What's to be gained by making his music more generic, I guess?
I mean, I don't know. I don't think there is anything to gain. I thought that they had an established character that did pretty well at Survivor Series. If I don't know if you're, do you want to ask? Do I like the change of the music? Because I don't understand that decision at all. I think when you have a character that's working and you're calling him up because fans love him, I don't understand any changes to the character. I don't understand why tag teams come up after they're so successful in NXT and then go on a years-long losing streak. None of this makes sense. Like some of it is like slotting guys to just fill out roster spots and then put guys, down into NXT because you feel like they're ready to go from, all right, they're developing and now they're ready to be on TV. So now we've got to move this tag team out. They've already fought everybody. They're time to move up to the main roster. Eventually, maybe they'll suck for a while, but eventually they'll get a shot. I mean, none of it makes sense. If I like I said, I feel like the conversation would have been in the room, and I don't agree with it, but I feel like the conversation in the room was, all right, this guy's going to lose his NXT championship, so let's maybe we'll create a new Keith Lee. That's the best I can come up with. Mike, if you have a better idea, please, let us know.
Well, I don't think that I didn't think you were wrong with the reboot. For me, I don't think that it's necessarily just about Karrion Kross. It almost feels like he had such an established persona and character as somebody who was a double championship holder. He was a conqueror in NXT, and now by kind of redoing his look, redoing his music, now it's almost like they don't want him to coast on that momentum. The really strange thing for me is I would love to have a Pepsi Coke challenge and see who could pick Bobby Lashley Apollo Crews and Keith Lee's music without seeing the intro video behind them, because those songs are so interchangeable. I would be shocked if anybody could correctly pick those 3 for 3. So it's kind of weird that they do that to all their prominent black wrestlers. They get this awful, just kind of chugging, vaguely hard rock music instead of something, a little more, like designed, connecting to the character. So I guess it's a little weird that they have, 3 black wrestlers who are vaguely the same shape and size all have the same music. So that kind of raises some eyebrows for me. But yeah, I guess maybe they don't want him to coast on his momentum. It's weird. It's like they do treat him like an indie wrestler, where they want him to almost do another proving ground and be like, you're not allowed to use all your wins from NXT. You're in Vince's program now. Now you have to basically start from scratch. But like out of the other side of their mouth, the first thing he does is interject himself into a Randy Orton, Drew McIntyre feud. So it's just kind of like a lot of mixed signals from this company.
Well, Amy threw in. I feel like there is a kink in the chain of command, or the transition needs more fine tuning. And everything you're saying, Amy, is 100% correct. I think there's always been like these issues of communication. And it feels like, when it comes down to it, right? Whenever there's an issue in any business, in any relationship, it's like that communication is problem number one. And I wonder, is it, Keith Lee is saying like, I don't make the decisions on the music, man. But we also know that Shawn Michaels did the lyrics in his music, so. Like, is it up to Keith? So I don't know, but is it up to Keith? Is it Keith Lee that has to come in and say like, what the hell is this shit? I gotta listen to fucking Instagram and Twitter comments for a whole goddamn week now, because you guys gave me this bullshit music and I was an established character. So it just, there's probably some. I doubt that Vince McMahon is going through an iPod and listening to tracks and going, that's it. This one is Keith Lee. Like, it's probably some guy that was like, well, just pick a song, and he's like, fuck, what do I do? There's only so many generic songs we have left. I could go back and we could do Kurt Angle's music again, but that'll be the third guy who's at it. I just want to let people know that I watch pro wrestling since I was a kid.
Thanks,
anyways, that's where that came from. Yeah, it does. Like, you can't really connect the dots there. There's no rhyme or reason to it. I think I'll come back and say, if you have an established character, like, just keep it there. Like, it's not like he's heel. It's not like, go ahead.
I think what's the last piece of this is just, like you said with Kurt Angle, he was using just recycled, reheated entrance music. I forget what it was called. It was called like Patriotic Anthem or something like that. Mm-hmm. So it's not the the music that makes the man, but by the same token, it does make it a whole lot easier. If you're Triple H and you get to come out to Motorhead, and then 3-man band comes out, I'm a 3-man band, and they sound ridiculous. Like, if Triple H came out to that spewing water, he never would have got as big as he did. So it's just, you can do so much on your own. That's what Kurt Angle did. He became one of the best wrestlers on the planet, even with the terrible entrance music.
That was such a great point.
But it's more an indicator of what this company thinks of you, that they don't feel like they want to invest something musically into you.
But yeah, that was such a great point. I knocked out my headphones twice on accident. All right, Mike, you want to talk about Aleister Black going heel?
Yeah, just briefly. I never feel like the Aleister Black fans were like, oh man, when are they going to reboot him? It's just like, just put him on TV. He can talk. He can fight. It looks real.
That's the reboot of Aleister Black. Give him TV time.
That's all he needed was a chance. I don't know what else you just put him in some title matches. He'll look really good. That spot he does where he lifts up his prone opponent off the ground with the top of his foot, just so we can, give him a black mass kick. That's some creative stuff. The guy talked about entrance music, got to write the lyrics for his song. But it's like they're rebooting him for Vince because the rest of us already get it. So at the very least, with Keith Lee going up against Orton, that means that, okay, they feel like he can be, toe-to-toe with one of the greats. And Aleister being in there with Kevin Owens, Kevin Owens is one of the, like Jericho level, that kind of top-tier talker, wrestler, fill in the blank, could be on the, Mount Rushmore of wrestling.
He's the Teflon pro wrestler we brought up when the show first started. He could go down for weeks and he'll be fine. Yeah.
So at least if they're saying we're going to put you up against Kevin, you're going to feud with Kevin. It's something he can, sink his teeth into and should be able to come out, better for it at the end of it. So
it's
a little inspiring as a fan, but yeah.
Quick shout out from Brent Rodriguez, I think. No, it's Rodriguez. Brent.
Did he write the word hot dog?
No, he wrote very good points. So thanks, Brent, for tuning in.
Thanks, Brent. I do wish that he had said the word hot dog, though. I'm a little let down.
We'll see if he's still listening. All right, we've got Shayna and Nia. I'm actually pretty psyched about. I don't know. I think it's time for everything to just come crumbling down for Sasha and Bayley, and I think that's a great spot. I'm gonna say, just having Shayna come in and handing her the title. I don't know about the storytelling there. Probably going back to the conversation about Keith Lee. Maybe there is some need sometimes to rebuild the established character, but with Shayna, she already lost at WrestleMania, so let's kind of start to pick up all the crumbled blocks and see what we can make out of it. And I think if we're turning it into a tag team that's going to take down Bayley and Sasha, I think that's totally fine. And I always love this idea of a tag team that's going to get together and not be friends at first, but they're just too damn good to lose. The only thing is, I wish it wasn't Nia Jax, because I think you and I have been on the same page for a while about, there's probably some wrestlers that haven't done as much damage to the roster that, could get a shot. It's not like Nia is amazing in the ring. It's not like she's amazing on the mic. So, what are we doing?
The weirdest thing about the pairing is... this is the brothers of discussion. So we're obviously making an allusion to Kane and The Undertaker, who were a tag team, and they were both 7 feet tall, 300 pounds, and they beat up everybody. But they were both pretty established on their own. Kane essentially almost, basically holding the title in his first week, lighting people on fire, beating up Stone Cold, beating up The Undertaker, beating up Mankind. So the only kind of weird thing with Shayna and Nia, I love a good, big meaty women slapping meat combo, if you will. But the weird thing is that Nia's kind of had a little bit of solo success. Shayna's had basically none since her call up. So the only kind of weird thing is that I would want my Shayna to be the muscle of the group, and instead that's going to go to Nia because she's literally the only other big person on either show for Raw and SmackDown. So I'm pumped to see the two of them hold the women's tag titles and kind of reset how they even approach the entire division. And that's nothing against Sasha and Bayley, but it's wrestling. It's the times they are changing, and I'm excited to see some of the smaller teams try and see what they can do against the two arguably biggest women in the company. But it's just for me. I'm a little, as a Shayna Baszler T-shirt owner, I'm a little bummed that she she's going to be given the hot tag to Nia Jax, I guess. She's going to be the Enzo tagging in. That's big Nia, and she's 6.5 feet tall, and you can't teach that. I don't know if they're going to have a tandem entrance. I'm excited to see if they do. Maybe Shayna will put Nia up on her shoulders, which would be an impressive feat of strength. Man, the sky's the limit for this team. I hope Shayna still gets the shine as the muscle of this group.
And then Mike, I think you might have to take the lead on this one. But CM Punk applauding the NBA players for going on strike. I think it's something that if you guys want to tune into our hockey show, we go every Monday morning. We talk about the Detroit Red Wings, and we will most certainly talk about what's going on in the NHL right now, where they finally canceled games for the weekend. But yeah, the NBA is kind of what pushed this all forward. But you want to talk about Punk specifically?
Oh, well, yeah, we could just give this like 60 seconds. It's just United States, just another example of another Black American videotaped getting gunned down by police. This time, we don't have all the footage. We don't know what happened before the act, but Jacob was rounding his van, looking to get in. His children were inside, and police, followed him into his car, shot him in the back. It looks like he's going to survive. He's going to pull through. But one of the bullets did sever his spine, so it's looking pretty unlikely that he's going to be able to walk again, but it does look like he's going to survive. NBA players did something pretty stunning. We didn't. COVID, a global epidemic, couldn't stop the NBA, but it looks like more racism actually will. So pretty incredible moment. I believe it only happened one other time in the 60s. There was a protest by NBA players, and they just sat out and said, "We're not playing. This is garbage." And basically just CM Punk coming out, and I don't think it was a hard thing to get behind, but just applauding the NBA players for doing something that really takes some guts. And there's some pretty good interviews from NBA players who are just saying, it doesn't make sense. There isn't going to be change if we're out here, entertaining the masses. We're a distraction from important issues, so we need to, maybe have sports take a back seat. So, we're not going to play. We don't feel like playing. This isn't emotionally where we are right now, and
I think there was an opportunity here for the
I don't
WWE.
know. I don't think we could have that reasonable expectation for. It's tough because I guess I didn't expect a lot from WWE. Maybe they would say something.
Yeah.
But I don't. I wouldn't have expected them to, cancel the show or anything like that. I won't go that far and say that we should expect that from them, but at least doing something, knowing that they employ so many minorities, so many people who are Black, who have talked about that same fear that a lot of the NBA players have talked about of people in blue. So I guess kind of knowing that it's one thing to occasionally let your wrestlers have armbands that say BLM on it. And it's, just a little something extra if you can actually invest time and resources and, be outspoken about change. So.
Well, I guess what I tweeted out was they should say something. So I don't know if it made sense for them to cancel a show that's pre-taped. It's not like it's the same scenario. But what I just, again, this goes back to like the Velveteen Dream stuff. Like, just acknowledge it. Like, say something. There's an opportunity to put somebody passes. There's a little snippet before the shows start. I don't know what happened in AEW. Maybe they did. I didn't. I was preparing for this, so I do apologize. I know like Thursdays are just the best day for us to record for this, so we're missing AEW right now. But
yeah, not a whole lot from them, but
I wanted to speak to the idea. I have no idea if they actually posted something, but I think there's a strong responsibility for these two brands that keep saying they want to be treated like a sport. And if you think WWE doesn't, then why do they have a relationship with ESPN? But yeah, if they want to be treated like a sport, then act like one. That's kind of where I'm coming from on that. I know I totally get what you're saying. I'm not saying you're wrong to say it's tough to expect. I think the expectations are just, it's one of those things where it's like there are so many things that are tough to expect, but I want all right, and Amy is actually confirming for us that they didn't say anything. So thank you, Amy. God, I love having a correspondent like out in the field. I appreciate that. But yeah, I mean, it's something too where you're kind of like making a stand for your community, and that's why it's important to kind of say those things. I mean, I would challenge everyone. For the hockey Twitter account, I actually said, cool. So everybody, while you have the night off, since hockey was canceled tonight, I started posting a bunch of links to like where I've gotten my Audible stuff for the books that I've been listening to. Some different books that people can listen to along with me. So I said, here's the stuff, or here's where you can find this stuff. And I tried to at least kind of push the narrative where it's not just like, all right, hockey's canceled tonight. It's kind of like, just an opportunity to do your part, I think. Kind of, if it's going to happen, it can't just be, hockey's canceled for tonight or the WWE or AEW made a statement. I think, like, even from our perspective, I guess is what I'm saying. It's just you have a voice, kind of take advantage of it. And I know you're not against that, and I'm not saying you are. I'm going to keep asking for more, and I get what you're saying. You're not saying don't ask the WWE to do it. I guess I'm trying to defend myself for saying, like, make them do something. It's like that meme where they're just sitting there doing nothing and somebody's poking them with a stick. Come on, do something. I just want something. Same with Velveteen stuff. I want something. All right. Well, we've run the gamut here on all of our pro wrestling news. Do we want to talk? We don't have another Wednesday Night Wars again. I still have my great graphic though. All right, I'll run the graphic. Let's pretend we're doing the Wednesday. Oh no, I didn't fix it. Oh, it's so tiny. Damn it! Oh, I fucked it up. All right, the Wednesday Night Wars. All right, Matt's got to do more pre-show work. Oh, damn it! I know. It's different. Like I'm directing everything from my computer, so Mike doesn't get to see it. But Mike, it showed up in like the top little corner. It just said Wednesday Night Wars. All right, so again, AEW is going on right now. But the two big things to talk about, I think, and this is where we can kind of build up, everybody going to bodpodcast.com over the weekend, because I want to put together that video of the 5 pro wrestlers I think should be joining the newly announced Fatal 4-Way for the NXT Championship now that Karrion Kross has relinquished the title for a shoulder injury. That somebody pointed out on Twitter, the same shoulder injury that Finn Balor had. He's my pick to win this, by the way. Yeah, Karrion Kross goes down. 60-minute Iron Man match for all of the
for all the pasta,
most recognizable NXT talents, and I think that's where my list of 5 guys that once that comes out, I'll tease one. Because I think number 1, I'm going to blow everybody's socks off, and they're going to go, oh, right, that's a perfect get. But one of the, in my top 5 would be Samoa Joe. I think would fit perfectly with this group of 5. And I think that would, take this match over the next level. Now, the way that I'm titling this article is that I'm not mad that it's a Fatal 4-Way or what's going on, but I'm thinking, all right, what if we did a one surprise guy on the main roster that could come back, and that's where the rest of the article takes off. So I'm excited for that to come out. Again, bodpodcast.com, brothersdiscussion.com. If you subscribe to the YouTube channel, you'll get the update when that video comes out. But Mike, how excited are you for this match?
Well, it's such a bittersweet thing. I was really excited to see the reign of Karrion Kross.
Yeah.
But kind of, it is what it is. You got to kind of scramble and kind of reset, reboot. And honestly, out of those four guys, you're not really gonna have a bad show. As any of them as the front runner. I think that the least likely is probably Adam Cole, just because he already had his long run. Second least likely is probably Gargano.
Yep.
I got to think it's Ciampa, who doesn't really
least
have a lot
likely.
going on right now.
Right. So fourth least likely is Balor.
The fourth least likeliest of the four
I want to run with that.
is probably Finn Balor. I think I'd be a little surprised if he didn't win. You talk about being kind of directionless, kind of needing to put a little polish on him. This is a quick, easy Band-Aid fix to make Finn Balor relevant again.
Yep.
You
didn't think that 10 minutes with Timothy Thatcher at TakeOver 30 just put him over the top?
I will say, no, you know what? I will say that a couple people, if you watch Roman Reigns at a pay-per-view match, you're going to watch an excellent match because he overdoes it on his bumps. Not to say that they don't look realistic. What I mean is that he really punishes himself for our entertainment. And I think Finn Balor, likewise, on these takeovers, has really done a number to himself and to other people. I think so fondly of goodness gracious me. God, who did he fight 2 takeovers ago? I can't even remember who he was fighting. I just remember that Balor was not doing a WWE Balor match, where he had to tune you up for a little bit and then do a running drop kick and then go for the coup de grace. He was literally just running at his opponent, trying to get him in submission moves and stomping, this relentless attack that it was so exciting to see because it went off, the usual move set from Balor. So I think if he can, be allowed to do something like that for this 60-man match, obviously it'd be pretty cool to see him sprint for 60 minutes. Yeah, I have the T-shirt. I liked Demon Balor. I was a big fan. Matt, how hard would you pop if he came out as Demon Balor next Wednesday or Tuesday, I guess?
Ooh. You know what? I hate that you brought that up because now I feel like he's only going to win if he does that, right? If he doesn't come out as Demon Balor, then I'm immediately going, all right, Ciampa's taking this. God, but yeah, it would be pretty sweet if he came out as Demon Balor. I think that would make a lot of sense, and I think that would be then we're being told as fans you could root for Finn Balor again, right? He's away from being a bad guy, but then out of that 4, I mean, right? We kind of need. I guess Gargano's such a weak character right now. You've got Adam Cole, who's he goes up against Pat McAfee, and we're all kind of well, we're rooting for Adam Cole, right? We're not rooting. Nobody's rooting for Pat McAfee. So Adam Cole's most recent feud made him a face. And then you've got Ciampa, who's also a face. So, what are we doing here? Kind of thing. Paige says she's hyped for SmackDown now.
Ooh.
She's excited for Thunderdome and to see who's going to do something crazy.
Hey, Paige.
Hey, Paige. Yeah. I guess I want to see. I don't know. Maybe we're going to do this. We were talking about the reset button on Keith Lee before. Maybe this is going to be the reset button for everything NXT, and we're going to see double heel turns and face turns, kind of thing, double turns. And then Paige, yay, Thunderdome! So we're gonna do those.
What about a pirouette? Turns. That's what I want to hear. Yeah.
Aw, hi, Paige. But yeah, I want to see this as this new reset of the story. I think there's an opportunity here. two of these guys can walk out of here with a feud, and then the other two can walk away with like, oh, I almost won the championship kind of thing. I should be the next one to go. So that's what I hope we get out of this. That's where I kind of
make
that reset.
I want to make one big request for this match. If we're gonna do NXT's greatest hits, can we please find Mauro Ranallo, dig him up, and get him to call this match for 60 minutes? Because I can't listen to Vic Joseph or Tom Phillips for 60 minutes. Try and call this.
I like Vic Joseph. You're a monster.
I'm done. I can't do his I can't do his big wind up anymore. I'm out.
All right. I can't quite. Well, I watch every episode on mute, so I don't know if I can really comment. Right? We already established that as truth. Can I comment on commentators? No. We also got the champs.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. I stole your Thunderdome.
Is it crazy that Breezango combined has one title reign and it started last night? No singles titles. Nothing in NXT. Nothing in the main roster. Yeah. They have one NXT Tag Team title reign. It's about 24 hours right now. It's their career highlight.
It's coming to
yeah. I love these dancing fools. I love their homoeroticism. I love their silver pants. I think that they're two of my favorite blushing boys in the entire world. And I think that this reign took too long to get here, Matt. We should have been enjoying the Breezango run years ago. But at least it's here now, and I'm really digging Fandango's pandemic haircut. It's really cool. It's kind of grown into that Will Ferrell afro a little bit. I'm really starting to dig that. And I just want more. I want more silver pants. I want more David Bowie outfits, and I want more Will Ferrell hair. That's one.
No, I mean, this Breezango's been one of our favorites since they started doing their Fashion Police stuff. So anything that results in seeing those two celebrate at the end of the night, I think is a bonus for all wrestling fans, but mostly the Brothers of Discussion. That's my fear, though. I already brought it up. Is how long is this going to last? I feel like Imperium was kind of like, well, we can't stay in the States. We got to go back. So they're going back, to NXT UK, and I think that's actually restarting soon, from what I've seen on Twitter.
Yes.
So I think after they figure out what the hell was going to go on with that roster, I guess now they've got that figured out. Jesus Christ, that was such a shit show, NXT UK. Yeah, so I guess Imperium is. We actually have a couple of decent human beings that are in that faction. So they'll be sticking around, but hopefully they'll get some play in NXT UK, and I think this is where that transition was. We have a couple of legit tag teams in NXT, so let's see what happens here. Yeah, let's give it to Breezango, who definitely deserves it. I mean, this is one of those things where it was like with Drake Maverick hanging around. This is a guy that did something for so long that would tear at any human being's insides. Having to be the character that is a cuck to his wife and for the 24/7 championship. So it's like, of course he deserves to stick around in NXT. So Breezango were goofballs for years. Same thing as like 3MB getting shots at the title. It's sad that Drew McIntyre right now is the only guy left standing, but and he also left. But I digress. Breezango has done so much for this company to be the goofballs, to be the losers. A title run is probably asking for less than they deserve.
It's overdue
Amy,
to say the least.
I think you missed an E on that. Amy wants to know if she spelled Breezango right. I think it's Bree. But yeah, Amy's also on board with Breezango. So high five there to Amy. I hope you're high fiving your webcam or your screen right now. But
yeah.
They're so easy to cheer for too. They're great guys that love the sports entertainment aspect, I think, even more than the pro wrestling, and they're so goddamn good at pro wrestling. But they know what this business is, and I think there's a lot to say for that. I mean, there's things that we're excited for now, like a mimosa match. I mean, that's the type of stuff that we get up for this business for. So yeah, Breezango should definitely be holding titles, and they should get all the TV time they want.
Boom.
All right, Mike, we don't have too much to talk about in AEW. Hopefully, we'll actually get a regular schedule this upcoming week. I know, well, actually, NXT's on Tuesday, but that'll still work out for our Thursday recording schedule. But yeah, if
there's real quick of AEW, we haven't heard a peep from them about the current situation. But there's a new talking head for the Lucha Bros wearing a T-shirt that says "All lives can't matter until Black lives matter." So at least there's one progressive moment. I would think we'd see it from Cody, who is married to somebody who's black. Maybe be a little bit more outspoken, but at least there's one character, a side character for the Lucha Brothers. So there you go.
Yeah, I think on that there's too much PR that gets in the way to make things more political than they need to be when we're talking about people not getting killed by police officers. I mean, an entire, I mean, like just minorities like not getting killed by police, and we're, again, we've mentioned it a bunch of times. Everybody knows what side we're on, and obviously we're two white guys talking about it. So I mean, we're never gonna understand what anybody's going through that we just will never understand. We could do as much reading, like I mentioned before, as we want, but I think the issue is that it just gets forgotten that this doesn't have to be political. I think we can, if you crossed out, that there needs to be a conservative and a liberal side to this, and you just said, do I want people to get killed by police officers at a rate that's higher than any other race in any country? And like, when you look at the statistic, how much more Black Americans get killed by police than any other race, it's just, I'm sorry, the statistics are there. So when you ask yourself, do you want that to continue or do you not want it to continue? I think if you took politics out of it, we'd all be on the same side. All right. A great majority of us would be on the same side. So I guess to cap this off, as I muddle through this, there's too much politics. There's too much PR. It just has to be, how do you feel? Can you put a good voice on this? Like AEW, you made that claim that wrestling, you were going to be the company that wrestling is for everyone. I don't know if you could really truly stand with that if you're not like publicly over and over coming out for BLM and Black Lives Matter. And I think just like with the WWE, I wish that they would just come out and do more. AEW too, man. Open your shows. Like, remind everybody. Like the NHL. The NHL, for God's sakes, is not playing tonight. Mike, the NHL is notorious for doing nothing in these situations, and the NHL has canceled their hockey games for the next couple of nights. The NHL. I can't, if the WWE and AEW aren't making noise about it, it's rough.
Yeah, I mean, you don't have to be the most, you don't have to be Ben and Jerry's progressive. That's asking a lot, apparently. But at least be a little bit more on top of it than the National Hockey League. That's your goal.
Right.
That's the bottom bar.
Everybody should
be a little bit more on top of it than a league run by Gary Bettman. There you go.
I apologize for, we apologize for making the jokes out of it, but it's kind of true. If you're doing less than the NHL, you've got to check yourself. All right.
You're doing very little. Yeah, but go ahead.
If anybody has any questions while we're signing off here, please feel free to throw them out there. But check us out on bodpodcast.com and brothersadiscussion.com. Check out our top 5 results from SummerSlam that is now live on bodpodcast.com, brothersadiscussion.com, our YouTube channel, which if you subscribe to, you'll get all the updates when the new videos come out. And what we're talking about there are the 5 things that are going to affect the fall season for the WWE that came out of SummerSlam weekend. And then, of course, like I said, I want you guys to check out and then pipe in on who you think could also be inserted to make this a 5-way match, Iron Man match. So I'm kind of just trying to figure out who has also had a huge impact on NXT that could also come away here and maybe even win the title. So check that out, and you can follow us at BOD Podcast on Twitter, at brothers_of_discussion on Instagram. Jesus criminy. We've actually been putting stories out on a regular basis, and our memes. That's the home of everything there. So check that out. Mike, thank you for letting me go live again. And everybody who tuned in tonight, thank you so much. Paige, Amy, Brent, and I'm so sorry, Stephanie. Your name escaped me just for a second. I'm so sorry. But thanks for checking us out, guys, and anybody who's listening now. Oh, Mike, I can't wait for you to check the YouTube comments. Quite a comment on Restream, and I hope everybody, I think everybody can see that on the video right now. Okay. It's quite a dirty comment on YouTube. All right. Thanks, everybody.
Oh, nice. All right. Goodbye.
Yeah, go to YouTube and check out what that comment was. All right, everybody. Thank you.